I found a dandelion. I dug deep into my belly and wished a wish that only God could grant. I asked him to show me the legacy on this earth as well. Give him something tangible so he can prove that wishes do come true. And I puffed at that dandelion. I did this in the name of Mary Bowman, in the name of the angels that watch over me, whose blood be thick like mine. I watched the dandelion spread itself as thin as a spider's web, reaching eternity as it floats away, granting all my wishes true, and I didn't even know it. I watched one seed land in the place where the virus started. Another seed landed in a place where I've held the hands of grandfathers whose blood has fought for decades, and they still got a smile on their face, reminding me that breath is all I should be grateful for. That even in all my broken nights where I don't feel whole, I have ancestors whose blood runs like mine, standing, holding their stories, ready to be grilled for whom the bell tolls. And they tell us to tell the legacy of their bodies, to preserve the stories of people like Brian and Gia and Mary and Freddie and Albert and Arthur. They tell us that our tongue resting on the roof of our mouth, they never got us nowhere. That if we keep all these things gelled behind our teeth, then we mimic the same environment that we are living in. So sometimes you gotta speak. I watched a third seed float over my own head, as if to tell me that I must also tell my stories. As if to tell me that I too am fertile ground in which dandelions are planted for their legacies to thrive in. So to send a thank you note, I bow my head. To make sure that I speak their names to the heaven, I want to make sure that I thank them for all that they have done, because their bones are tired, their blood has been boiling for far too long. So please let me take this yoke. Give me the strength to act up, fight back, and fight AIDS. And after my prayer, I open my eyes to a beautiful sight. I open my eyes to the ones who do this work, to the ones with the 7-time broken hearts, the ones whose blood may not look like their fathers or any others, the ones who are tired of the same problem, the ones who decided that enough is enough. I see all of you in this room, in this space. And I know that although we are the forgotten children of a well-forgotten generation, we know that we do this work. The other seeds, I watched those as they floated aimlessly. They landed anywhere that they could. These be the descendants who don't know that I was the one who wished the wish that told me what the future is going to look like. And I said to them, my children, if you are anything like those who came before you, then you know that you need to speak your legacy, because freedom lies between your lips, and it is time that we let all things flow freely. You will know that there are days that you have to stand in the mirror and remind yourself that you are worthy of the fight. Remind yourself that you are the offspring of people whose blood has fought for blood like yours. Tell yourself that you come from a whimsical thought. That maybe if I just give myself a little bit of love, then I can give the whole world a whole lot more. It doesn't cost a thing to be kind. It only costs if you put a price on who is worthy of your time. So please come and stand with me in the soil where dandelions take root, because it is here that we fight for humanity. But first, we must be planted. Thank you. AIDS epidemic was a planned genocide, a stealth attack on innocent people, and we must name it that. To name it anything different means that we live in transition, that our bodies, our minds, and our spirits, our truths, and our experiences have all been some sort of facade. And we know that we are real. We know that our younger bodies need the compassion that we so freely give to others. And how would your 7-year-old self feel about that? To know that this world is seeking to erase our stories like Caleb, who knows the coldness of a bathroom floor to be where they question consent, hard on the knees, yet harder on a child's mind. Stories like this sweet aunt of mine who left far before she could ever see how this world shifted. How we bid farewell to her in a bitter and fearful way. I will always remember what she did, and she did her best. We will always fight for the types of stories that don't feel too good. We know because we have seen ourselves in the darkness, life twisted, scared, and changed, moving through uncertainty, fighting for our smile, and we still became the light that when nothing else shined on us. We know because our children have literally saved us. These children who will inherit the work. But, like the child of destiny, will not inherit the virus. They will not inherit the violence that is thrown at them. You must be sick, they say. They told people like Ariella that she must be crazy for continuing this fight when the world has given you nothing to protect yourself with, not knowing that violence can cause action, not knowing that there is healing in her tongue when she blocks out the words and reminds herself that although she may be misunderstood, she is still resilient and unwavering in her fight. At one point, like Corey, we have all felt lonely. We have all been scared to speak the words aloud, yet we somehow feel liberation for ourselves, liberation for someone who needed encouragement, like these words that I might have failed to give myself at one moment in time. Hablar del VIH es hablar de mi vida. To talk about HIV is to talk about my life, to talk about what happens when the epidemic ends, to shift money and resources to something else that this world will try to genocide their way out of, because a 40-year-old war doesn't provide the smartest people with a daily pill that targets stigma. A plan that targets inequities and provides space for the next generation to level the playing field, to level these ramparts that we are hiding behind, hoping that the government doesn't send more bombs to us. How do we know when we've won? What sort of celebration do we throw when there is no more HIV to be treated on this earth? How do we rest knowing all the lives that have been lost, that the torch that is being passed down has simultaneously burned ballrooms and lit the candles in reverence to the people who we miss on this earth? Maybe we just say thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for advocating and supporting. Thank you for being all of us at forgotten times, right? We think that your strength is admirable. We know that your soul is beautiful. Your kindness is immaculate, and you are a gift. The most radical thing that we can do with that is love each other. That's right. Through all of the genocide and the burned torches, the stigma-filled conversations that exclude us, we, in this room, we do not identify with silence. We identify with vibrance. We identify with strength. We identify with wholeness. And most importantly, joy. Because joy is what has kept us here, and joy is what will keep us. Yeah.